Hi guys, I am here with your Bible reading. Hi Sandy, hi Rosie. I was sad to say, I'm very sad to say, I was very sad to hear today that I hadn't got on the computer yet. I was getting ready to do the Bible video when I got a call from my aunt, and she asked me if I had heard anything, and I said no. And if I'd been on the computer yet, and I said no, because I always check for updates, with Chris. And there was an update from his mom on there today. Something was wrong. They had to take him to do a CAT scan because something was going on, and they didn't know what it was. And his vital signs were all very bad. But I have since heard more. Abby wrote his mom and asked his mom and dad if, what the CAT scan showed, everything. And the CAT scan, I guess, didn't show anything. But tomorrow, they still don't know what's causing this. So, his lungs was doing better. Well, tomorrow they're going down into his lungs to see what they can see, to see if they can find the problem of why he can't, his body won't fight this off. Which I thought that they had already done that, but apparently they put it off and hadn't done it or something, or they're doing it again. So Chris is kind of taking a turn for the worse today, and that really upset me. And of course, Abby was all upset. Me and her both was talking together, and we both went to the hospital site at the same time here a little bit ago when I talked to her, and we both made him a card at the same time and sent to him. So I tried to cheer her up, make her laugh a little. Because she really misses him, She's really worried about him. She loves him to death. It's so bad, it's so hard, when you hear good news one day and then the next, you hear bad again. It's just like you was up here and then you're just falling back down real quick, just I'm getting better, and then I'm really, really critically ill again. That's why I said, please keep Chris in your prayers, because it could turn around at any minute and he could go back to declining instead of getting better, and which is what happened today. So prayers for Chris are very much appreciated. He needs as many as he can get, so please spread the word. His name is Christopher SIRBACK. His last name is spelled SIRBACK. And I really appreciate the prayers. With that being said, let's go ahead and begin our Bible reading today. We finished up Matthew chapter 11 yesterday, so today we're going to begin chapter 12. We'll be reading verses 1 through verse 21. Starting with Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. The Sabbath, God says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. That's the day, the seventh day, that God rested from making the earth and everything, for making the world. Oh, my nose is running. So that I wanted to say that because it goes into our reading here at the beginning. Sorry, excuse me. Alright, here we go. Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. Am I bothering you?
No.
Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. At that time, Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath. His disciples were hungry and began to pick some head of grain to eat them. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to him, "Look, Your disciples are doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath. Jesus answered, haven't you read what David did when he and his companions were hungry? He entered the house of God, and he and his companions ate the consecrated bread, which was not lawful for them to do, but only for the priests. Or haven't you read in the law that the priests on Sabbath duty in the temple desecrate the Sabbath and yet are innocent? I tell you that something greater than the temple is here. If you had known what these words mean, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the innocent. For the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath and every other day. So whatever Jesus wants to do, he can do it regardless if it's the Sabbath or not. Because it's holy, because of God as Father and himself. So, I mean, but of course they didn't believe that, so the Pharisees and teachers of the law and stuff. Going on from that place, he went into the synagogue, and a man with a shriveled hand was there, looking for a reason. Looking for a reason to bring charges against Jesus. Should we start this over?
No, you're fine. Just keep going. You just missed one letter. Go ahead.
Going on from that place, he went into their synagogue, and a man with a shriveled hand was there, looking for a reason to bring charges against Jesus. They asked him, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? Trying to trip Jesus up, But Jesus already knew what they was thinking before they even said it. Jesus said to them, if any of you has a sheep, and it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will you not take hold of it and lift it out? How much more valuable is a person than a sheep? Therefore, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. They didn't know what to say to that, I'm sure. The Pharisees just get mad and stormed off, which, yep, you'll see here. Then he said to the man with the shriveled hand, stretch out your hand. So he stretched it out, and it was completely restored, just as sound as the other. But the Pharisees went out and plotted how they might kill Jesus. They were mad that Jesus tripped them up once again, because being the Pharisees and teachers of the law, they thought that they knew everything, they thought that they were right, and Jesus was blaspheming God and everything. When Jesus is the one that's trying to save everybody, because he is the Son of God. But of course they did not believe that. Okay, we're ending today's Bible reading with God's chosen servant. Aware of this, that they were plotting to kill him, Jesus withdrew from that place. A large crowd followed him, and he healed all who were ill. He warned them not to tell others about him. This was to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet Isaiah. Here is my servant, whom I have chosen, the one I love, in whom I delight. I will put my spirit on him, and he will proclaim justice to the nations. He will not quarrel or cry out. No one will hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, and smoldering wick he will not snuff out, till he has brought justice through to victory. In his name the nations will put their hope. And that's where we're stopping with Matthew, guys. And our psalm for today is Psalm 15. It's just a little short psalm. It's got 5 verses. It's, of course, another beautiful psalm of David. Lord, who may dwell in your sacred tent? Who may live in your holy mountain? The one whose walk is blameless, who does what is righteous, who speaks the truth from their heart, whose tongue utters no slander, who does no wrong to a neighbor, and casts no slur on others, who despises a vile person, but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps an oath even when it hurts, and does not change their mind, who lends money to the poor without interest, who does not accept a bribe against the innocent. Whoever does these things will never be shaken. And that was our psalm for today. That was Psalm 15. Did I talk about Christopher at the beginning? You sure it wasn't? Okay. And we're ending today's Bible reading with Proverbs. We'll be reading chapter 3, verses 21 through 26. My son, do not let wisdom and understanding out of your sight. Preserve sound judgment and discretion. They will be life for you, an ornament to grace your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster, or of the ruin that overtakes the wicked. For the Lord will be at your side, and He will keep your foot from being snared. Okay, guys, that was today's Bible reading. I hope I touched your guys' hearts. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. Please, 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 please continue to keep Christopher in your prayers. And if you're not praying for Christopher, I beg you, please pray for him, because he desperately needs prayers. And I'd very much appreciate it if you'd pray for his family and for Abby too, because, you know, him being like this, him being sick like this is really just crushing them. I mean, you just don't even know how bad it is. They're just really super hurting. I mean, and please ask others to pray for Christopher. Would really appreciate it. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, I'll see you guys all again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye, guys. God bless.